It's simple. For every one of us at Suncor, safety is above all else. If it isn't safe, we don't do it, so each and every one of us can go home to our loved ones safely. And to make sure this happens, we have 10 life-saving rules. These 10 rules are consistent across all of Suncor's operations, every one of our locations, in every line of business. So each of us are confident that we are all working together to be safe and watching out for each other. They address the most common causes of fatalities throughout our industry and outline the critical safety behaviors that are the foundation of how we keep ourselves and each other safe and alive. These are the 10 life-saving rules. Confined space. A confined space like a vessel, tank, pipe, or excavation can contain an explosive or poisonous atmosphere, or lack of oxygen. Secure authorization to enter, and ensure that energy sources are isolated before entering. Always confirm the atmosphere is tested and monitored, wear a breathing apparatus where required, and have a rescue plan and a qualified attendant in place. Obtain authorization before entering a confined space. Working at height. When working at heights, always use proper and inspected fall protection equipment. By securing tools and work materials, tying off to an approved anchor point, and ensuring sufficient clearance before you begin work, you will reduce the risk for yourself and those working around you. Protect yourself against a fall when working at height. Work authorization. A work permit helps keep you and your coworkers safe. Understand the permit requirements and details, and that you have received the authorization to perform the work. Always confirm hazards are controlled and reassess if conditions change. Work with a valid work permit when required. Energy isolation. It shouldn't come as a shock that energy sources can be extremely dangerous. That includes pneumatic, hydraulic, mechanical, gravitational, chemical, nuclear, thermal, and electric sources. Identifying energy sources, isolating, locking and tagging, and testing for residual energy separate you from danger and keeps you safe. Verify isolation and zero energy before work begins. Line of fire. The path of a moving object or hazardous energy is dangerous. Establishing and obeying exclusion zones, securing loose objects, as well as avoiding vehicles and other moving objects, pressure releases, and dropped objects will minimize the potential for injury. Keep yourself and others out of the line of fire. Bypassing safety controls. Safety-critical equipment is there to keep us all safe. It's important you understand safety equipment and procedures and always obtain approval prior to overriding them. Obtain authorization before overriding or disabling safety controls. Driving. Driving is one of the most dangerous things we can do. Always ensure you are fit, rested, and fully alert while driving, and that you fasten your seatbelt and follow the posted speed limit. It is essential that you never use cell phones and avoid distractions. Follow safe driving rules. Hot work. Flammable mixtures and atmospheres can pose dangerous explosion hazards. Identifying sources of ignition in your work area, ensuring flammable material has been removed or isolated, and performing gas testing and monitoring are all necessary to reduce the risk of fire or explosion. Control flammables and ignition sources. Safe mechanical lifting. Safe mechanical lifting applies to equipment or loads that are lifted by mechanical means. Ensure you are qualified to operate the necessary equipment and that it is fit for purpose and has been inspected prior to use. Establishing and obeying exclusion zones, maintaining a safe distance from overhead power lines, and following a lift plan are crucial to a safe lift. It is also imperative never to walk under a suspended load. Plan lifting operations and control the area. Fit for duty. You must be mentally and physically capable to do your job safely. This includes not having any limitations to perform your assigned duties due to the use or after effects of alcohol or drugs. If you are unfit for work or unsure you are unfit, you must inform your supervisor or health and wellness. Be in a state to perform work safely. Of course, there is more detailed information for each of the 10 life-saving rules. We all need to be familiar with these life-saving rules because it's only when all of us follow these rules carefully and consistently that we can keep everyone safe. It's how we look out for one another. Look, it's right there in the name. Life-saving rules. Let's all have the courage to do the right thing and make sure each and every one of us gets home safely at the end of every day.